Będzie footage, dobry. Będzie wszystko nagra, wszystko się kurwa nagra.
Jak przeprowadzimy cienko.
Wszystko będzie nagrane. Hi, it's Titus from pixelretroshop.pl and today my guest is Sam, the aka Hexadeci, yeah? And this is the Amiga breakcore producer, yeah?
Yeah.
So how was the party?
Yeah, really good. It was
nice.
fun, yeah. Good crowd.
Yeah, he played, as you probably know, he played the party in Wrocław in Czuła, Jest club. Why Amiga? Why you don't use normal normal PC or Mac nowadays computer?
Well, I actually started out. My background as a musician is playing drums, and I taught myself piano.
Drummer,
as
yeah?
a teenager, yeah. So I kind of got into electronic music as a teenager as well, and I was following a lot of chiptune artists. So I went through a bit of a phase of, into chiptune, and I wanted to do something with my Amigas, and then I taught myself how to use Octamed quite early on, and later on I learned Octamed on the PC because I got into like breakcore and heavier stuff, and at the time my first tracks were produced on Octamed on the PC, and then I stopped and thought, well, I could probably do this on the Amiga, so I had a go at doing this on the Amiga, and there were a few artists about at the time sort of producing, hardcore electronic music all over the world, and it's quite inspiring to see what they were doing with the hardware and how they were sort of pushing the boundaries with what you could do. But yeah, I started producing on Octamed on the Amiga, and I went from there really, and I never really stopped doing it.
What is special in tracker software that you are using it? Because for me and many people, they are seeing those programs as to be very difficult in use, like all those numbers going.
It's not that difficult once you get your head around it. I mean, to me, it's kind of like a blank canvas, and when you're producing something like breakcore, which has so many changes and
like
time stretches, re-triggers, you've got so much more control over the sound than you would if you were using like I don't know, Fruity Loops or something, or Cubase. So I kind of feel you just got so much more control. You can just manipulate samples. yeah, there's a lot of limitations with using the Amiga, but you sort of learn to think outside of the box, and in some ways that inspires you to do things differently, and you get a different product overall, a different sound. So limitations can be a good thing.
Are you involved in some kind of collective of people who are, I don't know, producing music or organize the parties, or you just like lone wolf who is?
Here and there, I mean, when I first started, I was part of a collective in the city where I was living in Plymouth. We used to put on these nights called Dimensional Schism, and so it was a group of friends. DJs, producers.
But they were also producing on Amigas, or just you?
No, it was hardcore, gabba, breakcore. It was anything like to do with that really. But there was a couple other people doing sort of hardcore, breakcore crossover with chiptune. You know, we had like Sam Core Contacts.
Because
at the time.
those types of music are commonly like together. Some chiptune and breakcore, hardcore. Sometimes you can find that those two types of music are joining together. You know, like what I noticed, because there is like a big scene of chiptune, like 8-bit music, like with this cheesy music and stuff, and they are like not so strong music, but also in the breakcore and hardcore scene you can easily find a connection to chiptune.
But at the same time I find you get people who are one or the other, like, but I had quite a, I didn't really identify as chiptune when I first started. I just identified as breakcore, hardcore, with lo-fi edge,
and on the party on Friday also it was like mostly people came like from the hardcore breakcore scene, like, heavy music lovers, and not so many like I don't know, retro gaming, demo scene people were there, because I think for retro scene people and demo scene people who are mainly watching this video, it is this music is maybe too much, you know, like breakcore, hardcore. They are more into the chiptune, maybe drum and bass. Going back to Amiga, tell us, because people I think who watch this channel are interested in the hardware and software. So tell us, because your Amiga
it looks like a bag of shit. I've spilt beer on it. It's been to hell and back. I used to play with two Amiga 1200s with a DJ mixer in between. But nowadays when I'm playing live I have to run Octamed Sound Studio on an emulator alongside the Amiga to mix between the tracks, because I spilt beer on the other one a few years ago and blew it up.
But we can. I know people. Greetings to Tomek Alt. I know people who can repair your Amiga here in Poland. So think about it.
I'll bring it with me next time.
There is a strong scene of Amiga people here, and they really can do miracles with the even broken.
I think it's a few capacitors, but I
think for Alt it won't be a problem. For Tomek Alt, it won't be a problem. He actually was at the party and he said it was great music. have Blizzard to 1230, yeah, card inside.
Yeah, 1230, 64 megabyte of RAM, which is a ridiculous amount of memory as far as I'm concerned for the Amiga, and I only use a fraction of that. I think my biggest mod files are about 11 megabyte in size, but those are the stereo mix mode tracks where I've actually brought in like long film samples and stuff which are in stereo. So, but even then it's still, it takes about half an hour to load them.
You can see on the picture, there is also on your Amiga there is this little screen connected by the beautiful black tape.
I did that nearly 10 years ago. I did that. I got the little screen off.
So it's enough, this little screen, for you to play live.
I have to change the resolution to quite bulky, but I can see what I'm doing. So, but then when I'm in the studio, I've got a monitor. It's got a scan doubler in it.
So tell me, maybe and our viewers, if they want to learn the tracker software, are there any tutorials in internet or YouTube?
I'm sure there's.
Because if you want to learn Ableton or I don't know some more common programs, you can easily find and trackers. If you want to learn trackers, I mean, you think it's easy to find some ways to learn it, or you have to, because these programs are not. When you see this program, it looks scary, it looks like they are not user friendly, as I might say. I don't know.
I mean, the way I learned is I actually found an old floppy disk it was Octamed version 3 on the A500, and I put it in, and the first time I looked at it, I was just like, "Oh, fuck that!" And I took the disc out and threw it away.
The first impression of those trackers. Yeah.
And then I discovered, as I was getting into more extreme music, I discovered artists like Despise in the US, Tyler, and he had a video on YouTube of Octamed running. It was like 256 512 lines per block, and it was really fast. He was doing re-triggers, time stretches, loads of sample manipulation with the breaks, and I was like, fuck, this software is really capable of something. So then I pulled the disc back out the box, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have a go at this. Brought up the demo track that was on there. It's like a crappy little demo track, and I just picked it apart. So my advice is get some mods,
analyze them,
and analyze them. Maybe even try and remix them. Just play with it, and you'll soon understand what everything's doing, and it's actually not that scary. Like it's,
when you know.
just practice and just play with it, see what happens.
Guys, we have to go to the airport, and if you want to buy a record of Hexadeci vinyl record, your LP album, it's available in the pixelretroshop.pl and of course in our shop here, stationary shop in Wrocław. And thank you for coming to Poland to play on our gig, and I hope we've seen sooner or later again.
Yeah.
And you maybe come again to play. Or
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and really, who was at the party knows how great it was. Who was not can listen to music of Hexadeci. It's on Bandcamp, and also, like I said, you can buy it in Pixel Electro Shop. Come visit us in Wrocław on Śrutowa, 14th Street, and www.pixelretroshop.pl. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and bye.